Hello, guys. This is new, isn't it? I just set this thing up in my car. And to be honest, I'm having one of those days where I feel like I need to get out of my head and back into my heart. So I'm leaving the house and I'm going to hit the town. I think that I'm just going to stop by some vintage stores and take you guys with me. I'm not going to film while I'm driving so that I am not distracted. And I will pick you guys up when we get to where we're going. See you in a minute. That didn't last long. Still driving, but snatch you guys back out because I was reflecting on getting out of my head and into my heart. And this is something that I think about often. Our mind is more of just a pattern recognition system to keep us safe and to filter and connect information as we receive it. But the heart is where our connection to ourselves, what we truly need and desire comes from. It's also where our connection to the people and the world around us comes from. The heart is your compass. It's what gives you guidance. I think a lot of us look for guidance outside of ourselves, guidance from things like the church, school, our peers, our parents, even podcasts or spiritual guides and mentors. But our connection to the divine, to ourselves, and the universe around us lies within us in the heart. The heart is the gate, it's the portal. And through the heart, we can receive divine intelligence. I think that the heart is the seat of the soul. It's how we are connected to our higher selves. And for me, when I am too stuck in my mind, in my rational mind, you can feel anxious, worry, fears. You're trying to make sense of things too much. I don't think that we need to understand most things in our life on a really deep level, especially our like purpose and path. We are just meant to take each next step as it appears in front of us. And if you're thinking too much with your logical mind, you can deter yourself from your path because the path is more about feeling. That's how you can follow your path, your mission, and your purpose, whatever that is. Anyway, when I'm too stuck in my mind, I change up my environment, and that gets me back into the heart. So sometimes that is going outside. I joke and say plugging myself into the earth, but I do ground pretty much every day. I will go out barefoot and sit and chill on the grass or stand and drink my coffee any time of the day whenever I need it to clear my energy and recharge my energetic body. And that so quickly brings you back into your heart. But today, I already did that. And it felt good, but I just felt a little ungrounded today. Wasn't sure what my top priority should be and what to get done. So I'm changing up the environment. And yeah, while I was thinking about that, I figured that I would share it with you guys.
I like the shape of this table. It's very sculptural, black, round. I feel like it's a good size for a side table. And I've been really into black lately to add dimension into the space. I think that it's really nice with different tones of wood and some off-white. This rocking chair with unusual proportions could be a cool accent chair in a space. I love a unique accent chair. It can add so much personality. This is a pretty object, sort of silvery gold. It looks like opalescent in the middle. It's a more modern piece on little legs. I love this for like a bar area to put your bottle tops in. It's a trash can, but look, for oh god, $6.95. I haven't found any black and white artwork that I love in a long time, but this is really cool. I love anything cars. I have for my whole life. My dad used to build cars in our garage, and I love racing. That's a cool one. This is a really pretty object for tabletop styling. The brass has good patina on it. It has a glass canister in the middle and a lid like this. You could put like matches or something in there for a coffee table. I love this brass floor lamp. I really like the shade choice that they have on there, and it's articulating. Really, really pretty. These are crazy little mini lamp set. They look like rockets or something. This place has tons of cool stuff. Like a lot of what you can tell are like collectible items. Like, look at this, is beautiful. It almost looks like, I don't know, something about it feels like Japanese, like these little things on here. But what a pretty object. Even this paper bag vase, I used to really not like them, but that one has tons of detail. It it doesn't look like a lot of the ones that you see. It has way more detail in person. I don't know if you can see that through here, but that one's really pretty. This is wild. It's so cool. It's really actually big. It's big for what it is. It has this where it opens and closes. It's like acrylic or lucite, and it feels really heavy. $4.95 lucite ice bucket. Cool. This is the perfect French blue color. Sort of like a star burst, and it's ceramic for $1.95. I love these two little crystal objects. They're auriferos, aurifors. These are highly collectible and very expensive. Anything that brand. They still make it actually, but those are really pretty. I love the geometric pedestals on them, and they're so tiny, they're super cute. These decanters are insane. with those tops on them. They're geometric. I think it's really pretty to add more modern pieces like this in a super traditional space for contrast.
That's nice, that urn style vase. And I really like this blue and white. It's different than any other one I've seen. It looks more Japanese. Really pretty. This is pretty. This looks like sort of like folk style. It's a really light yellow and then a beige. It's pretty. This is pretty. A little caddy to put silverware on one side and like napkins on the other for hosting. $10. This is pretty. This pewter tulip picture frame. It's super heavy.
This is pretty. This brass container with the verdigris. It's super heavy. It has these little things. I think this is a great idea. It's an antique frame, or I'm assuming it was antique that was painted over. I feel like that's a good way to give a frame a new life and to make it match and go with whatever you want to put inside. This is a really pretty print. There's just one. It has this plate, pretty, with this little teacup. I love the print. This isn't quite my style, but it has some really pretty detail on it. It's heavy cast iron and then enamel painted for a vanity. I have a little antique one on my vanity and I love it and use it every day. This is not very functional, like you couldn't use it for flowers as a vase, but it would be a really pretty, just like sculptural object. I like the silhouette and I like the perforated metal. It feels so lightweight and sort of transparent. Could be a cool piece. I'm not a huge fan of dried florals, so I would just leave it empty, but that's pretty cool as a little verdigris at the bottom. This has a really pretty silhouette as a sculptural object. This is a nice silver plated box. I like the motifs and the little dots on the edges. It has a felt liner on the inside for playing cards. How cute. That'd be cool to put playing cards like on the coffee table for entertaining. This is cool. It's in pretty good condition. A mirror with the brush and this for shaving for a man to like put on a vanity. It's really pretty. I don't know what I would do with this, but I just love the little top on here and the little detail on this plate. So cute. These are pretty. I like how simple they are. Silver plated. They're very heavy. A set of two, which is great. I think those are really nice. Having these lower candlestick holders are good for a table because the candles don't step so high so it doesn't block your view from whoever's sitting across from you. I see these too are pretty. This is kind of cool if you wanted something sort of coastal in the home but neutral. It's really intricate design, carved wood box. This mirror is pretty with the bird and floral design. It's an oval, it's quite small, and it's verdigris, so it has that nice green color on it. It could be really pretty hanging on a wall somewhere.
Okay, I've been looking for a little stool like this to get reupholstered to put it under the coffee table. And then when you need extra seating or you feel like sitting on the floor, it's kind of like a cute little thing that you can take out. You could also use it as like a little footrest. It's just unique. It's good for styling, and I feel like it's also practical. I kind of like the shape of these legs and the wood tone. I would just get it reupholstered. So, not bad. This pot is nice. I like the fluted detail and I like the patina on it. I'm not sure what it's made out of. I don't like the fake plant in there, but I would just remove it. It's hard to find good pots for plants. This is cute. It's silver plated little pitcher with a rattan or wicker wrapped handle. Here are some little Asian soup spoons. Those are cool. There's not many of them, but I think that stuff like that's nice to have. Like we have metal chopsticks and we use them all the time. Something like that though might be better to just buy new. I bet you could find a large set for very inexpensive on Amazon that's just white like that too. This is pretty. This little etched mirror. It has really pretty shape to it. $5.95. Doesn't look very old, but it is pretty. There's some yellowware bowls up there. They've become popular again and they're really hard to find, but this one's nice. With the white stripe, I think that's really pretty for 65. Nice. Some of them are kind of ornate. They have sort of some of those folk art sort of motifs on them. I prefer the ones that are a little more simple, but they're really nice. They're like stoneware, like super heavy, good for mixing bowls and things. Very practical. This is nice. Just a small square beveled mirror with no frame. It's simple. I like that. It's hard to find stuff with beveled edges nowadays. Okay, so this piece of furniture with all the silver in it, normally I can't get back there, but it's been cleared out a little. So I just found this simple little bowl, good for styling and practical. And this little guy, super simple, good for like a candle or a soap. I don't remember what these are called, but I always think these are cool. I just haven't found one that I really like. They're cast iron and you sit them down on the counter before you put a hot plate on top to protect your counters. And actually, this one with the handle, you could even like hang, like where I have my pots and pans hanging, but I don't love the design on this one. Like I said, I haven't found one that I really like yet, but I think that they're super practical. This is pretty. This silver plated fish piece of serveware. It's kind of like the copper ones that you see antique every now and then, but I've never seen one silver. That's super cool. How cute would this little etched glass jar be with like cookies on it on your kitchen counter? So cute. This is beautiful. This beaker style measuring cup. It has the different measurements here, which arguably are a little bit hard to read, but this is so pretty. Here's just one of those silver coasters for 38. Seems overpriced. Normally there's like a set of 4 or 6 for like 60. but that would be pretty to use as a coaster or even put a candle under it. It's a good layering piece. Always checking the silver stash. There's some pretty mother of pearl pieces this time. They're kind of discolored. I wouldn't buy them for that reason, but mother of pearl is pretty. And I noticed they do have more of that. I don't know what this is called, but to me it kind of looks like lily of the valley or something. These are cute, and it's always nice to have a pair of these little black hooded urns. Little set. I love the shape of an urn, and they're great for flower arrangements. Put a little frog at the bottom, one of those metal frogs. It's actually the perfect size for one. It would be held pretty tight in there. Cute. I always do a little pass by also of any antique charms like this. I have a little collection going of little antique solid gold cherub pendants that I wear and love. I started that collection like 3 or 4 years ago. I sort of wish this was a little bit darker, but this is a good shape oval basket for like a fruit basket. These are fake, but for 12 bucks. And I even like this little one for maybe my office. I have mostly dark wood and wicker right now that I'm collecting for the office closet to organize it. And that would look good in there. I can't think of the exact style name at the moment, but this ceramic with the line detail like that looks like Wedgwood. Starts with an E, the like style line that's from. I don't like that this one's so chunky, but I do like the color and that line detail. This is pretty too. This rose floral butter dish, super unique. I love this shape. There's a good stash of silver trays. These actually look like they're pewter. They have more of that matte looking detail. But this one and that one looks silver. And I see also this area, these little guys. This is so pretty. This little terracotta bowl. This guy has like actually ancient artifacts, which is so crazy. Like this. It says these Egyptian treasures are 2,000 to 3,000 years old. How insane. Same with these antique pendants. Estimated from 7th century AD. Holy shit. Wow. But this, I would actually buy this not for that price, but that's so cute. I see this antique etched mirror back there with some good patina on it. That's pretty. Doesn't seem too ornate. And this is nice. This little display box. I don't love the hearts with like the rhinestone, but some of them are nice. This one's better. I have one. I don't like that one. It has like glitter. That cannot be too old. Even this is kind of cool. Reminds me of like those Inaligos. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but it's a new day and it's been a while. I found a little something to pick up on Facebook Marketplace. I'm not driving too far. It's about a 30-minute drive according to maps. And I'm picking up a antique wooden drying rack. It's tall, accordion style. It looks like it's a medium to dark tone wood. I've been hang drying our laundry on the dining room chairs, which just makes the house constantly look like a disaster, even when it's clean. So I asked my husband to build a clothing line. Like, I was thinking maybe something retractable, but then I saw this on Facebook Marketplace. So I feel like I should try this first. I don't love the thought of something permanent in the backyard with like poles, and I don't know. Our backyard isn't that big. So I'm excited about this. It's larger and nicer than the ones that I've seen on Amazon, which the one that I used to have on Amazon, the drying rack, was white and it was metal and it was super functional, like a same accordion style as this one. It just wasn't that attractive. The other ones that I have looked into, which are custom ordered, handmade off Etsy, are custom wall mounted drying racks. So you would like mount it to the wall in the laundry room, and then it like comes off the wall like this and it has the racks. I don't know if that makes sense, but there are really pretty ones off of Etsy that are wood, handmade, crafted, beautiful, like the one that I'm picking up if everything checks out. So $50 going to pick this thing up, and fingers crossed. I hope it's great. My husband will be happy to hear that he no longer has an imminent project. Okay, I will pick you guys back up once this thing's all loaded up in the car. Okay, guys, I have secured the drying rack. It's even bigger than I expected, which is perfect. It's been about like 30 minutes since I got home with this thing. I drove 30 minutes back to the house, went inside, got myself a beverage, and headed back out to run a couple more errands. But I picked you guys back up because Hector, Hector, the man who I bought this from off Facebook Marketplace, has now reached back out about an hour after pickup. Hector told me that he meant to sell the drying rack for $100 cash instead of 50, and wants me to return the item. He wants me to drive back and return the item, and he says that he will reimburse me. I'm like, Hector, I am so sorry. This is not the way that Facebook Marketplace transactions work. I'm not sure what to do. I am definitely not driving back to Hector. I just drove 30 minutes each way, an hour, to pick this thing up. And so I think what I'm going to do is offer Hector that he can come pick this item up from my house and bring the cash I gave him, or I'm just going to stop responding. I'm kind of like torn on what to do. What do I do? I'm not even sure. I think I'm going to call my husband for some backup to figure out what to do. I'm leaning towards just giving him my address or giving him a pickup spot. And like, if he really wants it back that badly, then he can come pick it up, and then just hope he doesn't come. Hope he decides that, you know what? Actually, it's going to a lovely home and you can have it. So anyway, the Chronicles of Facebook Marketplace. It's been a while since I've made a Facebook Marketplace pickup. Like, it has to be something really worth it for me. And this was, because my clothes have been driving me crazy. But yeah, what a way to get back into Facebook Marketplace with good old Hector taking me through the trenches. All right, 1 second. Okay, if you see this drying rack in the vintage haul at the end of this video, Hector let me keep the drying rack.
Okay, guys, we are back. We've had a couple of adventures. I've been filming this over a couple of days, but first, I wanted to show you what I got from the antique store. So, this is all from the same antique store. They had a lot of new stuff in, which is great. That rarely happens when you go so often. There's normally just a couple of things here and there, but this is a sketch of a sailboat. I like that the paper is more of a cream color, and I like that the sailboat had quite a bit of detail. I have actually a little stash going now, which is pretty exciting, of different artwork. So I'm going to make a day out of it sometime soon and go to a local framer and see what combinations I can come up with. I'm really hoping to do a few with like printed mats and then just a real simple like walnut frame is what I'm thinking, but we'll see when I get there. This is one of the pieces that I will bring with me. This was $9.50, which is a steal. This is a mini footstool. I have been looking for one of these forever, which may seem super random, but I loved the simple detail on the legs. There's no carving, no painted details. This fabric, actually, I think that this is a really pretty fabric and would probably look good in a lot of homes, especially in South Florida. It sort of has this like bamboo and florals with birds. This color isn't great in my house, so I am gonna reupholster it, and I think I'm just gonna do like a DIY situation on this. Joann Fabrics is closed now, full bankruptcy shut down, which is such a huge bummer. But I'm gonna go to some local upholstery shops and see what kind of fabric I can find. I definitely want something printed. I'm just not sure if I will do more of a printed fabric like of nature, like florals with birds and stuff, but probably more of a neutral color, or stripes, because stripes for me are classic and I think they go with everything. I was looking for one of these sort of to use as like a meditation pillow, but also so that it's short enough that I can slide it under the coffee table in the living room. If I want it out as a little footrest, it will go well with all of my stuff. And if I want it hidden, I can slide it under the coffee table when we have tons of people over and we're all hanging out in the living room. If there's not enough seating and people like sitting on the floor, they could even sit on this. I just feel like it's a great little layering piece to add an additional layer into the living room, and it's also practical. So this was 40 bucks and I think that it's a great purchase. Here is a very simple small plate. It's like the size of my hand. It has a little C engraved at the top, but I love that it doesn't have ornate detailing. It is just super simple. It needs a good polish. I do prefer my silver polish. I'm realizing now that some of it has patinaed. So I'm actually, once I'm done showing you what I got, I'll take this as an opportunity to show you guys how to polish a couple things up. But this was 5 bucks, great deal. I can use it for soap. I can use it for a candle. It's such a beautiful object. I can also just leave it as is on top of a stack of books. Really great, versatile piece, and I'm always collecting silver. Here is another little silver piece. I bought this. It's tiny. It's not super practical, but I loved this little silhouette on the top, how it dips. I've not seen one like this. This is an item that I saw last time I went vintage shopping. So I think it was probably shown in the last video. I can't remember, but I saw it again. It was still there and I decided to pick it up. It was again $5, silver plated, and yeah, I love everything silver. This also needs a good polish, but this would even be good for rings. Here is a little crock. It's short. Um, I don't have any in here right now, but most of the stoneware that I have in this color are actually mustard jars, so the opening is much smaller. They're not big with a wide open mouth like this, but I love this one. This is pretty beat up. I'm not mad about it, but I've been looking for something this size to use to pot herbs for the kitchen, like to actually leave in the kitchen. Or also, I always have on my mind floral bulbs. It is something that I like to do in spring. I usually do like a hyacinth, and I also love them for Christmas. It's become like one of my staple things. And this is the perfect size for just one or two bulbs. You might be able to fit three in here, but last year around Christmas, when I actually started my bulb journey, I had only like big pots. So I think there were like 5 or 6 bulbs in each pot. And I really wanted some smaller arrangements that I could scatter throughout the house. So this is perfect. And this is what I hope to use this little crock for. Another really pretty simple silver bowl. I love this silhouette. It actually reminded me of this one. This I've had for quite some time and I bought it off of, I think, eBay. I love this little simple silhouette. And this one reminded me of that. So I just have this out now because I didn't want to forget to polish it. But this is also a great find and I will definitely use it somewhere. I've really been hoping to find a couple of bigger silver pieces. I haven't been able to find anything vintage, like big vintage silver trays yet that are reasonably priced and not super ornate. So I actually went ahead and purchased one off Amazon that I had been eyeballing for a while. So when that gets here, I will show you guys over on Instagram. This is not old. This is new. I can tell from the back, but I loved the shape of this mirror and the etched detailing. I think that this would be great. It has little feet so it can sit flat and you can put a candle on top of here, or I can even hang it on a wall somewhere. And like if there's a little sliver of a wall or something, I think that this would be a nice detail. I just thought that this was super charming and couldn't pass it up. Okay, I have this little wicker basket. I love the style. It has the braided detail. I thought that these little handles were very unique. They're actually quite sturdy for what they are. I love the dark tone. I used to really prefer light toned wicker, but I'm really now gravitating more towards like medium and dark tones. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because my house is so neutral. I really like that contrast, but I'm in the midst of collecting things for a pantry and home office organization project. And I really don't want a bunch of plastic and acrylic storage bins. So I'm slowly collecting over time with that in mind. And hopefully I can find an organizer to come over here and film it for you guys because I am a very organized person, but I can be a little bit scatterbrained when it comes to figuring out a process. And so I'm hoping that someone can come over here, organize, and set up a process for me where everything has its place and then it will be easily maintained. So, anyway, I think this will likely go in the office closet. And here is another one. I love this sort of like lattice work detail around the edges. It has a good flat surface. This is the perfect size to fit like a sheet of paper. And so I figured that this could be used for mail or sort of like a action needed catch-all for mail if bills and things come in. Okay, next up, we have this Hollywood Regency style brass lotus flower ashtray. It is from the between the 50s and 70s, and these petals are removable. So if you were smoking, each person got their own personal ashtray and then they could be put in here once they were done being used. I think that you could also use those as a butter pat, but I specifically bought this as a sculptural decorative object for our coffee table. Once I find one, that's something I've just constantly been lingering in the back of my head. But in our living room, we have a large chrome floor lamp, and I need to buy a picture light for the picture next to that, but I'm thinking that I'm going to do brass. And this has both silver and gold. So I've I've been thinking about that as I'm picking stuff out for that area. If it's metal, to mix both tones together to make it feel more cohesive. So this is an item that I have been thinking about purchasing for many years now, and I finally just decided to do it. Okay, and then last but not least, we have this massive antique drying rack. It is accordion style. It opens up like this and then stands straight up. As it is now, I have been using our dining room chairs to dry a lot of clothes that cannot, to air dry a lot of clothes that cannot go into the drying machine. And it just makes the house look so messy every time I'm drying clothes. I'm going to give it a quick wipe down with a damp, soapy cloth. Spray it. I know it's wood and it can't get that wet. So I think actually what I'm going to do is take a damp cloth and rub it down to get any loose debris off. And then I'm going to open it up on the dock and leave it for a day to sit in the sun to just sort of like sanitize it. And while it's out there, I will really wet the rag that I cleaned it with and hang it over one of these to dry because I'm really curious to see if any of this wood stain is going to transfer to a white rag because the two major things that I air dry are all of my activewear, which is mostly black, and like all of my like linen summer clothes, which are all white. And the sun really helps to bleach out any stains and keep your whites really white. And I would hate to hang something on here and have it get some of this brown wood stain. I feel like that would be extremely difficult to get out. So I'm just going to test first on a rag, fingers crossed that there's no transfer, and then I'm going to get to using this. Okay, I'm just putting a rag down to place the silver that I am working on top of here. This can really dry out your hands. Here's what I use. It's Wright's Silver Cream, and it comes with this sponge on the inside. So what you do, this one, look how tarnished. It's just dry. I'm not going to wet it yet. I'm going to first rub it down dry with some of this. That purple stuff is the cream. Rub it down like this. You can already see that this is turning black. The tarnish is coming off. And look at that. So it's really easy. I will say it takes often more cream product than you would think. And once I'm done with this, all you do is rinse it with water. And then I like to dry it off with a rag, preferably a microfiber, so that you don't scratch the piece at all. But I like that more than air drying because sometimes the water dries and leaves like watermarks on it, which sort of defeats the purpose if you want something really nicely polished. This is something I will say that once you start, you do sort of want to just get it done. I say that like you don't want to start doing this and set it down and get distracted and come back to it hours later because the cream product does dry. And so you're sort of going to have like this like toothpaste residue dried onto here and stuck, and you're likely going to have to start this process over again. So it's good to just put something on, a podcast, music. Sometimes I even sit outside. I don't polish often, but when it gets really bad, I do it because I prefer my silver polish. Okay, now it's polished like this. This is black. I'm just going to rinse it off and then I'll show you guys the finished product. And then here I have a microfiber. I never really talk about this, but I have a small drawer in the kitchen that's just like cleaning rags because I try not to use much paper towel unless it's like a dog accident or something that really needs it. So I keep a stack of these white cleaning rags to wipe things down, to clean them, to clean counters. It has some good texture to it actually, which is nice. If something's dried or stuck on somewhere, this is like slightly exfoliating. And then I also have a big stack of white microfibers. And I like the white just because you can bleach them, you can clean them. When you open the drawer, it looks beautiful, which for me is the main reason. But yeah, it's great. When you need it, it's better than paper towel. So that's it. Beautiful, shiny, good as new. Okay, guys, thank you so much for watching. Please drop a comment down below and let me know. I've started using this new mic, DJI mic. I'm trying to work on the quality of these videos to bring you guys the top-notch quality now that these videos are rolling out on a regular cadence. And next week, you will see a home tour. I think I'm going to call it the empty house tour, although the house isn't empty because I have so many projects in the pipeline of things that we will be working on, redoing rooms, and swapping out some of the items in the house. I feel like that's something that most people go through when they move into a new house. You sort of take all of your old belongings with you, and over time, you start switching them out to things that are nicer, larger, more appropriate for your new space. And that's sort of the process that I have been going through while really being mindful about planning things out. I have Canva projects going for each room where I am organizing things, buying swatches, and taking you guys along for the journey. So I will see you next week for another video. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. And please like this video and subscribe if you would like to see more. Bye. Thank you.